Hello everyone and welcome back to TechBlog 66. Today we are diving into one of the most beloved and timeless musical films ever made, The Sound of Music from 1965. This is not just a movie, it is an experience that has lived across generations and continues to charm audiences even decades after its release. Directed by Robert Wise and based on the Broadway musical by Rodgers and Hammerstein, The Sound of Music tells a heartwarming story that blends music, family, romance, and history in a way very few films have managed to do. This review is completely YouTube monetization safe and spoiler light, focusing on why this film remains so special and relevant even today. The Sound of Music is set in Austria on the eve of World War II and follows the story of Maria, a young woman preparing to become a nun who struggles to fit into the strict life of the convent. From the very beginning, the film establishes Maria as a free-spirited soul who finds comfort and joy in music and nature. When she is sent to work as a governess for the 7 children of Captain George von Trapp, her life takes an unexpected turn. What begins as a simple assignment slowly grows into a journey of emotional healing, love, and resistance against oppression. Julie Andrews delivers a truly unforgettable performance as Maria. This role cemented her status as one of the most iconic performers in cinema history. Her portrayal is warm, sincere, and full of infectious energy. She brings a sense of innocence without being naive and strength without losing gentleness. Andrews' singing voice is crystal clear and emotionally resonant, making every musical number feel alive and personal. Her presence alone carries much of the film's emotional weight and keeps the audience engaged from start to finish. Christopher Plummer plays Captain von Trapp, a disciplined and emotionally distant naval officer who has lost his wife and closed his heart to music and joy. Plummer's performance is subtle and layered. He begins as a strict authority figure, using whistles instead of warmth, but gradually transforms into a loving father and partner. This character arc is handled with great care, making his emotional journey feel believable and satisfying. His chemistry with Julie Andrews adds depth to the romantic subplot without overpowering the family-focused narrative. The children in The Sound of Music are another major reason the film works so well. Each child has a distinct personality, and together they bring humor, innocence, and emotional grounding to the story. Their performances never feel forced or artificial, which is impressive considering their young ages. The bond that forms between Maria and the children feels natural and heartfelt, reinforcing the film's message about the power of kindness, understanding, and shared joy. Music is the soul of The Sound of Music. The songs are not just entertaining but deeply connected to the characters and story. Numbers like Do Re Mi, My Favorite Things, Edelweiss, and the title song The Sound of Music have become cultural landmarks. These songs are memorable because they are simple yet emotionally rich. They communicate joy, comfort, hope, and resistance in ways that dialogue alone never could. Even viewers who are not fans of musicals often find themselves humming along. The way music is integrated into the narrative deserves special praise. Songs are not randomly placed for spectacle, they emerge naturally from the characters' emotions and situations. For example, Do Re Mi is not just a fun tune but a teaching moment that helps the children rediscover joy and trust. And My Favorite Things becomes a coping mechanism during moments of fear and uncertainty. This thoughtful integration makes the musical elements feel essential rather than decorative. Visually, The Sound of Music is breathtaking. The film makes excellent use of real locations in Austria, and the sweeping shots of mountains, lakes, and open fields are simply stunning. These visuals give the film a sense of freedom and openness that mirrors Maria's personality and contrasts with the rigid structures she struggles against. The cinematography captures both grand landscapes and intimate family moments with equal care. The production design and costumes also play a significant role in bringing the story to life. From the simplicity of Maria's early clothing to the elegance of later scenes, the costumes reflect character development and social context. The iconic curtain dress scene is a perfect example of creativity and resilience turned into visual storytelling. These details add authenticity and charm to the film, making the world feel lived in and believable. One of the strongest aspects of The Sound of Music is its emotional balance. The film knows when to be joyful and when to be serious. It celebrates love and laughter but does not shy away from the darker realities of its historical setting. The rise of Nazism and the moral choices faced by the characters are handled with sensitivity and restraint. This historical backdrop adds gravity to the story and reminds viewers that courage often begins at home. The theme of standing up for one's values is quietly but powerfully expressed. Captain von Trapp's refusal to compromise his principles, even at great personal risk, gives the film a strong moral core. This aspect elevates The Sound of Music beyond a simple family musical and places it firmly in the realm of meaningful cinema. It encourages viewers to consider the importance of integrity, even in the face of fear. Family is another central theme that resonates deeply. The Sound of Music shows how love can rebuild broken bonds and heal emotional wounds. The transformation of the Von Trapp household from a place of silence and discipline into one filled with music and laughter is deeply satisfying. It reminds us that families are not defined by strict rules but by understanding, patience, and shared moments. The pacing of the film is impressive given its long runtime. Rather than feeling dragged out, the story unfolds at a comfortable and engaging rhythm. Each scene has a purpose, whether it is developing character, advancing the plot, or reinforcing themes. This careful structure ensures that viewers remain emotionally invested throughout the entire journey. The Sound of Music also benefits from Robert Wise's confident direction. He allows scenes to breathe and emotions to develop naturally rather than rushing moments for impact. This restraint is one of the reasons the film has aged so well. It does not rely on trends or gimmicks but on strong storytelling and genuine performances. Culturally, The Sound of Music has left an enormous legacy. It has inspired stage revivals, television adaptations, sing-along screenings, and countless references in popular culture. For many families, it has become a tradition, watched and rewatched across generations. This enduring popularity speaks to the film's universal appeal and emotional honesty. Some critics over the years have described the film as overly sentimental. While it is undeniably warm and optimistic, this sincerity is precisely what makes it special. In a world often filled with cynicism, The Sound of Music offers a reminder that kindness, courage, and joy still matter. Its optimism does not feel naive but earned through the characters' struggles and choices. Another reason the film continues to connect with audiences is its accessibility. You do not need to be a film expert or musical enthusiast to enjoy it. The story is clear, the emotions are universal, and the music is inviting. This makes it a perfect introduction to classic cinema for younger viewers while still offering depth for older audiences. The performances, music, visuals, and themes all come together to create a film that feels complete and fulfilling. It is rare to find a movie that appeals equally to children and adults, but The Sound of Music manages to do exactly that. It entertains without talking down to its audience and inspires without preaching. From a modern perspective, it is also interesting to see how the film portrays freedom and self-expression. Maria's journey from conformity to self-acceptance feels surprisingly contemporary. Her willingness to be herself, even when it challenges tradition, is a message that continues to resonate strongly today. In conclusion, The Sound of Music is more than just a classic musical. It is a beautifully crafted story about love, courage, family, and the healing power of music. Julie Andrews' radiant performance, unforgettable songs, stunning landscapes, and meaningful themes combine to create a cinematic masterpiece that stands the test of time. Whether you are watching it for the first time or returning to it after many years, the film has a unique ability to make you smile, reflect, and feel uplifted. If you enjoy timeless stories, heartfelt performances, and music that stays with you long after the credits roll, The Sound of Music is absolutely worth your time. It remains one of the greatest achievements in film history and a shining example of how cinema can touch the human heart. Thank you for watching TechBlog 66 and stay tuned for more classic movie reviews. This movie is available on YouTube free.